Constituency statements by honourable members. The member for Perth has the call.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Today I want to call upon the Parliament to once and for all finalise the issue of voluntary euthanasia. I think it would be fair to say that over the last 30 years, the political class has failed really to grapple with this, something that I believe is a very significant issue, and that is giving people in their final stages of life, particularly those suffering terminal illness, the capacity to be assisted in their process of dying. I think we have, as a political grouping, have been far too timid to accept what is overwhelmingly a proposition that is supported by the Australian people, that we should have a choice in those final stages of our life whether we die with dignity or we are required to continue to suffer in pain and agony. Currently we have the supporters of this within the Australian community basically outnumber the opponents 6 to 1. And so I do think it is time for us to act. I don't believe this is something that we can leave up to the state and territory governments. We have seen this being attempted unsuccessfully in a number of jurisdictions. I believe there is clearly a head of power in section 51 13A that would enable us to legislate to give a medically based assistance for dying. And I would call upon us to think of these revolting cases that we so often hear about, where people are being required to suffer in immense indignity because we are to have been too fearful of legislating in this regard. In Western Australia, we've seen some absolutely appalling cases, and I know Herbert Erickson did not want to be considered to be as someone who was a torchbearer for euthanasia, but this 81-year-old gentleman recently was found to have drowned himself in the ocean after he had cared for his wife for many years. They had a suicide pact. He smothered his wife and then attempted to kill himself, but his attempt failed. He was then charged with her murder and subsequently found guilty. And he was forced then, in his view, to take his own life in a more dramatic way.